In this session, we are going to learn about Anglo-French Wars. These wars were the major conflicts or the initial conflicts with which the British started controlling the Indian subcontinent. During this struggle, they have also conquered Bengal as well. Bengal, the first battle in Bengal region was the Battle of Plassey in 1757. Before this battle, already they were in conflict with French in Deccan region. In the South India, they were already fighting with French people. So this is the second chapter in modern India, that is the conquest of British. In this chapter, the first part comes this Anglo-French Wars. So in this session we will see what are the causes for the conflict, then three Carnatic Wars and reasons for the failure of French. In this struggle, English emerged victorious. French, though they emerged victorious in the initial stages of the battles, but later ultimately they have given way to the British. Now we will see all the reasons and total three Carnatic Wars, and before that what are the initial causes for the beginning of this conflict. These are the causes for the conflict in India. In India, both French and English, they started their career as traders. If we see in the previous class, French started their first settlement in India in 1668, whereas English started from in 1608 itself. In 1608, English established their company or their settlement in Surat. French also established their first settlement in India in the same location, that is Surat. So they were having intense trade competition in India. This is the one of the major reasons for the conflict. In those times, mercantilism or the trade practices used to give a lot of profit for merchants. Whoever monopolize the Indian trade, they will earn more profits. So naturally there was trade competition between French and English. So this has given one of the reasons for the conflict. Another reason was a conflict between French and English in Europe for many generations. In their home areas also, British and French, they were continuously in conflict for so many generations. Taking with the 10th century onwards, often they used to conflict whenever they get the opportunity. They used to interfere in the affairs of European continent, and in order to gain the supremacy over European continent, they used to fight together. So this conflict did not start all of a sudden in 1700s. So that natural enmity between French and British carried even in India also in 18th century. Another reason was both were militarily superpowers of the time. They were having superior arms in their hands. So naturally these arms naturally generate a kind of conflict in order to project themselves as one of the best powers in the world. Major reason in India with respect to India was the weakening Mughal authority. So this was the main reason for the conflict in 18th century, because in 17th century also, for example, English, Dutch, these people were there since 17th century. French also came as lateral entrants in 1668, but in 1700s they were controlled by a strong Mughal authority. a strong centralized Mughal authority under Aurangzeb controlled the activities of these European traders. Whereas in 18th century, after 1707, in 1707, Aurangzeb died. After his death, there was no strong central authority in Delhi. This has naturally weakened the Mughal Empire. The Subedars of Mughal Empire tried to assume independent status, but they were not powerful enough to control the trading activities of these people or the European traders. So this was the major reason which gave rise to the Anglo-French wars. So these are the major causes for the conflict in India. These conflicts led to three Carnatic wars. Carnatic is a region. This is the region. In this region, both English and French fought together. Because of this, the wars were called Carnatic Wars. 3 times they fought together. That is why first, second and third Carnatic War. So now we see what are the causes for first Carnatic War, and we move on to second and finally the third one. First Carnatic War. It started in 1746 and lasted for 2 years, that is up to 1748. The reason for this war was the extension of Austrian Succession War. As we have seen in the one of the causes for the conflict was the conflict between French and English in Europe. So here in 1746 there was a such Austrian Succession War. Austria is a country here. This is Austria-Hungary Empire. King died, and after the king's death there was succession wars. In those times the succession wars were very common because there was no proper order for the succession. Even in India, after the Aurangzeb and Aurangzeb brothers fought together for the throne. After Aurangzeb, his sons also fought for the throne. So whenever there was a death of a strong monarch, the next successor used to fight for gaining the throne. Similarly, in 1740, there was a succession war in Austria. In order to gain control over Europe, French and British, they used to ally together on the opposite sides and they started fighting in Europe. This naturally echoed in India as well. So this was the extension of Austrian Succession War. French secured a great victory in the first round of struggle. Initially, French showed a great strength and they gained victory in the first round. French Governor General Duplessis defeated British and occupied Madras. In this struggle, he occupied Madras. Here, this was Europe. There was a succession struggle here. Now, French and British sided on the opposite sides. During this time period, British and French were also fighting in North America as well. Because North America also, both England and France were having colonies. Similarly, in India also, they were having trading colonies. When there was a succession struggle going on in 1740, in 1746 here, initially the British took offensive against the navy of French. During this time period, here, this is Pondicherry, this is Madras. Madras was Chennai was the settlement of British, and this one Pondicherry. It was the capital or main settlement of French, and this one is the main settlement of British. Let us take a sheet and we will see how. This one, the French, English. Initially, in this first Carnatic War in 1746, French attacked English attacked French navy. So English attacked the French. Now what the French did? Now the Governor General of French settlements in India was Dupleix. Now Dupleix attacked Madras and Madras was captured. Now English tried to capture Pondicherry, but they could not. Now Madras came under French, whereas Pondicherry could not be controlled by English. Now Pondicherry and Madras both are controlled by French. So this is the reason Dupleix had upper hand in the initial stages of Carnatic War. Madras was besieged both by land and sea at this time. Robert Clive, who fought Battle of Plassey in Bengal, he was also a prisoner at Madras. So Robert Clive was also staying in the Madras at this time when Madras was captured by French people. However, Robert Clive, he escaped from the siege and he reached Bengal, and he gradually accumulated his forces and fought against French later. So this continued. The war in Europe ended with Aix-la-Chapelle Treaty. In 1748, there was a treaty in Europe. As we have seen, the war itself started because of European politics. Now European politics are going to be ended with Aix-la-Chapelle Treaty. Now in India also, French and English had a treaty. With this treaty, Madras was given back to the British in exchange for the French fortress of Louisbourg in North America. Here, in North America also they were having the colonies. Now here, at the same time, English occupied French territory. In India, French occupied British territory. Now with this treaty, both territories were restored together. With this, First Carnatic War ended. Aix-la-Chapelle is a place in this location in Holy Roman Empire, and here they had a treaty. With this treaty, Austrian War of Succession ended. Now in India also, the struggle between French and English ended for some time. But this is not a full stop, or this was not the end of conflict altogether. They were just stopped for some time. Once again, the Second Carnatic War started. Now, interesting point here is, when French and English were fighting on the Indian subcontinent, what was happening to the Indian princes? So who was the native ruler in this location? So what he was doing? Here, Carnatic Nawab, the place where they were fighting comes under Arcot. So this is the Arcot, this is Madras, this is Pondicherry. Now this region came under Carnatic Nawab. Whenever there is a strong political power or strong authority, these European traders do not dare to fight together. Now, Carnatic Nawab was in a weak position. After the death of Aurangzeb, so many succession wars were taking place in the entire subcontinent. During this time, these European traders took the advantage of the weakness in Indian subcontinent and they started settling their own scores. Because these French traders or English traders, they do not have any authority in India to go and complain against each other. Now, both English and French, they themselves were settling their differences. When these people were fighting, Carnatic Nawab sent a message to both English and French saying that they should not fight together on his territory. But French did not listen. They occupied Madras. Now, Carnatic Nawab wanted to punish French. He sent an army. There was a battle between French and Indian native ruler. This battle was the Battle of Adayar or the Battle of Saint Thom that took place in 1746 between Anwaruddin was the Nawab of Carnatic, and French forces, because already French forces occupied Madras. Anwaruddin wanted Madras to be restored to Carnatic Nawab because Madras is a province or area under Nawab. But French did not listen and they fought with Anwaruddin himself. However, Anwaruddin was defeated. Here, two major aspects will come. One, the Nawab army was consisting of 10,000 native army, whereas French army was having only 930 soldiers. This is one aspect. That means a European army with very less number of soldiers could defeat even as big as 10,000 soldiers. This shows the weakness of Indian rulers or weakness of Indian army and the superior forces under European command. One more aspect here is, in these 930 soldiers also, only 230 people were Europeans. It is very interesting to know that among these 930, 700 were Indian sepoys. So these Indian sepoys were recruited by the French, they trained them, and now with the same Indian sepoys, the Europeans are defeating the Indian army. So these are two aspects. One is, with less number of forces, Europeans could conquer India. Second aspect is, with Indian sepoys themselves, they can conquer India. French won the day. The first round of this struggle was a drawn one because with the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, both Madras was restored to the English. This is the first Carnatic War. So in this Carnatic War, the power of Dupleix was shown and the weakness of native rulers and the superior power of French was displayed in the first Carnatic War. However, due to the treaty in Europe, the settlements, the Madras was restored to the British. So it was a drawn struggle. Now, Dupleix is not going to stay calm because he has seen the taste of the Oriental warfare. Now he wanted to continue his politics in India and he wanted to control the French power as much as possible in Indian subcontinent. This was the reason for the Second Carnatic War. Now this Second Carnatic War, the causes for the Second Carnatic War was the succession struggles within India. Now you can see the first Carnatic struggle was the reason for the first Carnatic War was the succession struggle in Europe. Now in the Second Carnatic War, succession struggle in India itself. Dupleix has seen the advantage of involving in the Indian politics and he has seen the weakness of native rulers. He wanted to establish his political authority in India because if Dupleix can control the political authority, he can use the political power to maximize the French profits. Now the opportunity has come when there is a succession struggle both in Hyderabad and in Carnatic. Here, both Hyderabad and Carnatic were part of Mughal Empire. When Golconda was an independent sultanate before it was annexed by Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb annexed Golconda Sultanate in 1687. After 1687, Golconda territories became part of Mughal Empire. And now subsequently, Carnatic region also came under Mughal Empire. This Carnatic region was coming under Hyderabad Nizam. The Hyderabad Subedar was looking after the Carnatic administration as well. That means both Hyderabad region and Carnatic region technically were in the control of Hyderabad Nizam. Whereas Hyderabad Nizam used to send a representative in Carnatic, that is in Arcot. So he was virtually the ruler of Hyderabad. So even though Arcot was having a Nawab, but this Nawab was answerable to Hyderabad Nizam. And in turn, Hyderabad Nizam was answerable to Delhi, the Mughal emperor. After Aurangzeb's death, here the Delhi administration itself was in a weak position. So Hyderabad Nizam almost he became independent and he carved out independent state. Now the Nawab of Carnatic also came under Hyderabad Nizam. Because of this, the politics of Hyderabad and Nawab are interlinked together. In 1748, the first Nizam of Hyderabad died. The first person who created independent Hyderabad was Asaf Jah. He died in 1748. Now he was succeeded by his son Nazir Jang. However, he was disputed by Muzaffar Jang. So that means now once again there is a conflict for the throne. Nazir Jang was the Subedar of Hyderabad. Now Muzaffar Jang also wanted to become the Subedar of Hyderabad. So there is a power conflict. In Carnatic also, Nawab Anwaruddin was disputed by Chanda Sahib. Anwaruddin was the same person who was defeated by the French forces. Now he was disputed by Chanda Sahib. Chanda Sahib also wanted to become the Nawab of Carnatic. Now here two contenders in two places. This we can see this way. Those in power were Nazir Jang was in power in Hyderabad, Anwaruddin was in power in Carnatic. Their opponents were Muzaffar Jang and Chanda Sahib. Now the opponents, Muzaffar Jang and Chanda Sahib, were supported by the French. Those people who are in power were killed ultimately. So those in power were killed, opponents were installed as rulers by 1750. So that means the people who were supported by French now are in power. Muzaffar Jang became the Subedar of Deccan. Chanda Sahib became Nawab of Carnatic. Now this is the very great victory for Dupleix. Dupleix was also appointed as governor of all Mughal territories south of river Krishna. Now Muzaffar Jang became the Subedar of Hyderabad. Now he has the power to appoint a governor in his dominion. So Dupleix was appointed as governor of all Mughal territories south of river Krishna. As we have seen earlier, these areas were, in theory, they were part of Mughal Empire. Dupleix was at the height of his political career. So this is the great victory for Dupleix. Now when this was going on, English were not in silent mode. They started supporting the opponents of the French. The French, some districts in northern Sarkars also went to French because French supported Muzaffar Jung. Muzaffar Jung gave some of the districts also to French. French army under a naval officer Bussi was also stationed in Hyderabad for the protection of Hyderabad Nizam. Now in the first round won by French, now the turn of British came. So these events were around 1750. So by 1750, Dupleix was at the height of his political power. However, the Second Carnatic War continued till 1755. So now from 1751 onwards, there were reversals for French. Here, British under Robert Clive captured the capital Arcot and made Dupleix be recalled to France. In between, what happened? Now Madras was the settlement of English. Pondicherry was the settlement of French. Arcot was the capital of Nawab. Now what happened? When Chanda Sahib became Nawab, now French authority French people under full control of Nawab of Carnatic. Now after the death of previous ruler Anwaruddin, Chanda Sahib killed Anwaruddin, and Anwaruddin's son naturally is going to oppose Chanda Sahib. Now Chanda Sahib wanted to chase his son. Now his son was in Tiruchirappalli. Now Chanda Sahib went to Tiruchirappalli. French also supported him. Meanwhile, English under Robert Clive attacked Arcot and they seized Arcot. That means English captured the capital of Carnatic Kingdom. So this shows the tactic of English, and now in Tiruchirappalli both Chanda Sahib and French forces were routed. Now they were defeated. French were defeated in the initial round. French were winners. Now in the second round of the same war, now French were routed by the English. Robert Clive played a dominant role in this battle. Now finally the conflict was resolved with the Treaty of Pondicherry in 1754 and Treaty of Tiruchirappalli in 1755. So in Pondicherry Treaty and with the Tiruchirappalli Treaty, now both settled. Now with these treaties, both were to indulge only in commercial activities, not to interfere in political affairs. So this was the Second Carnatic War results. Now Dupleix also, because of this disaster, the French administrators in France recalled Dupleix, because Dupleix was seen as going too far in involving in the domestic politics of India. So it caused so much financial loss for the French company. Financial loss also took place. Now the home authorities in France recalled Dupleix. New Governor General was appointed during the Second Carnatic War. Now after the treaties, both were only to indulge in commercial activities, not to interfere in political affairs. So this was the result of Second Carnatic War. However, the conflict did not end over there. Once again, in Europe, conflict between England and France started in 1756. This started, once again, 7 years war broke out between France and England in Europe. This 7 years war was the continuation of Austrian Succession War. Austrian Succession War took place in 1740. It continued till 1748. During this time period, First Carnatic War also took place. This Austrian Succession War was settled with the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle in 1748. But all issues were not settled with this, and this continued once again in 1756. This once again went for 7 years. That is why the famous 7 years war broke out between France and English in Europe. Once again in India also they started fighting. So that means virtually from 1746 to 1763 both English and French fought. Starting with 1746 first Carnatic War, in 1749 second Carnatic War, in 1756 third Carnatic War, and finally ended in 63. That means from 1746 to 1763 both French and English were fighting together in India. In this third Carnatic War, decisive war, it sealed the fate of French in India completely. French faced defeat almost in every battle in this Carnatic War. Here, the French were routed in the Battle of Vandivash. This is famous with respect to Third Carnatic War. A famous Battle of Vandivash. In this battle, British General Ayrecourt defeated French army under Bussy. Bussy was the one who was stationed in Hyderabad as a representative of the France, or Dupli. Now he was defeated in this Vandivash battle, and finally French forces were routed. English captured the Pondicherry itself. Pondicherry was the French settlement. Mahi and Jinji were also French settlements. They were also lost by the France. This shows that almost all the settlements of French went into the hands of English now. With the Treaty of Paris in 1763, finally Pondicherry and other territories were given back to French, but they were never to be fortified again, on the condition that these settlements should not be fortified, never. Fortification means they can strengthen the settlements. If they strengthen their settlement, they can easily attack the other settlements of other Europeans. If there is no fortification, means they were not safe. That means now French itself went into the hands of English protection. So with this third Carnatic War, the fate of French completely sealed. British won a decisive victory in third Carnatic War. This is Vandavashi, and this is the capital of Arcot Kingdom or Arcot Sultanate. In this battle, French were completely routed. British occupied Pondicherry itself. Finally, with the Treaty of Paris in 1763, Pondicherry was returned to French. However, on one condition, that fortification should not take place in these locations. So this was the result of Third Carnatic War. So we have seen First Carnatic War, Second Carnatic War, Third Carnatic War. In the First and Second Carnatic War, French showed promising victories, and at one point of time, French is going to occupy Indian territories. But slowly the reversal took place, and finally British emerged victorious. And one more development before 1760 took place, that is before 1760, that is in 1757, Battle of Plassey also took place in Bengal. With this, Bengal also came under English. Now with 1763, now this Carnatic region also came under English. In 1764, with the Battle of Buxar, Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, all these three regions came under English. Now you can see slowly British started expanding their territories in Indian subcontinent. So in the conquest of India, these Carnatic wars played a dominant role in strengthening British power in India. Now we see what were the reasons for French failure. Even though they have shown great promise in the initial stages of these wars, why ultimately French failed? These failures can broadly be categorized under administrative causes, financial causes, navy, and leadership. Here, administration means French East India Company. Here, East India Company. This is English, this is French. Whereas the administration of home authorities is completely different. With respect to East India Company, they were almost independent from politics of England or London. Whereas French East India Company was not independent or autonomous body. It is a department in French government. That means the decisions in India were generally taken by the French in England, French in France. Whereas the decisions at ground can be taken by themselves with respect to East India Company affairs. The officers of East India Company take decisions on the spot, whereas in case of French East India Company, they could not take their decisions on spot. They need to consult the home authorities. But meanwhile, the situation on the ground might have changed. So this is the one kind of difference between French and English because of their autonomous state or the independent status of East India Company gave them free hand for the servants of East India Company to take decisions on ground, and they had changed their tactics according to the situations. So that is one reason for French failure. Another one, financial. Financially also, French company was not in a good position because it is a department of the French government. But French government itself is under debt. French could not give sufficient funds to this company. Whereas in case of English, East India Company was an independent company. They were gaining more profits with Indian trade. So they had a lot of financial resources. And one more, with 1757, they got more immense resources of Bengal also into their hands. Now with these resources, they could easily beat French people in South India. And one more is, the French capital was Pondicherry. Pondicherry is located in South India, whereas Kolkata is the main area, or Bombay, Calcutta, Madras were major areas of East India Company. Now with this, now Bengal also came under English. The Pondicherry region could not give them sufficient resources for French. For English, they have good resources in their hands. One historian commented that with Pondicherry as base, not the Dupli, even Alexander also cannot beat English with their resources of Bengal in their hands. So this shows the weakness of French. Not only Alexander, not even Napoleon. Neither Alexander nor Napoleon can conquer India with Pondicherry as their base. That means Pondicherry do not give sufficient financial resources for the French. So that is the kind of weakness French people were at. Another one, Navy. Naval power played a dominant role in English victory. English people were very strong in naval power. This is in 1740s. After 50 years, in 1800s, Napoleon himself could not beat England because of their naval power. Because English were very strong in navy, and whereas French were not strong in naval power. They were very good in land warfare, whereas they were not strong in oceans. This is one of the major factors for the defeat of French in India. Another one, leadership. Leadership also, in case of English, people like Robert Clive, Sir Eyrecourt, they showed strong leadership. Whereas in case of French, only people like Dupli played a strong role, whereas other leaders could not reach up to the mark, and they could not take the French positions properly, and they could not take the French army efficiently. They could not run the army efficiently. Finally, they defeated in the hands of English. So this is another reason for the causes for failure of French. So with this, with 1763, finally the French settlements went into the protectorate of English. Now French almost ceased to exist as a major political opponent for English. Only few settlements were left. Those settlements acted as only trading centers. Finally, after India's independence in 1947, Indian Republic integrated these French positions into India. After independence, French territories were integrated and Pondicherry Union Territory was created. Now Pondicherry is a union territory. Pondicherry is having special culture of French. So this is about Anglo-French Wars. Anglo-French Wars are major wars which gave English control of South India in 1750s and 1760s. Now we see how questions can be asked. Which British general defeated French army and captured Pondicherry? Eyre-Court. Which battle was a decisive in Anglo-French Wars? Battle of Vandivash. So Battle of Vandivash. Which British general defeated French army in Battle of Vandivash is Sir Eyre-Court. When was the Battle of Vandivash fought? 1760. So this is the major battle, and with this battle the French threat completely eradicated for the English. So these are various issues in Anglo-French Wars.